Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite DraftKings plays for tonight's 10-game slate in the NHL. Let's dive right into it. And like we always do here in these videos, I'm going to give you a high-level overview of my cheat sheet, breaking down a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight, as well as some of my favorite individual plays. But as always, everyone, want to remind you and highly recommend joining my free Discord channel. You can see that mentioned above. Close to 850 people in there now, talking multiple different sports for DFS, but primarily NHL and NFL, as well as some of their favorite sports bets. So if you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment below. With that being said, let's dive into the cheat sheet here, and I'm going to highlight the two line stacks that I like here for tonight in a different way than I normally do. The first one that I'm highlighting here is that second line for the Florida Panthers, where we got Bennett centering Verhaeghe and Tkachuk. The other line stack that I like here is that first line for the St. Louis Blues, with Robert Thomas centering Pavel Buchnevich and Jordan Kyrou. Now, I like these lines in a lot of similar ways. I like the matchup both these teams have here tonight. You got Florida going into Chicago against a struggling Blackhawks team, and you got St. Louis playing at home here against the San Jose Sharks, who are on back-to-back nights. They lost just last night 5-2 while playing in Dallas, and I love the correlation we're getting with both of these lines as well. We've seen Sam Bennett sneak up on that #1 power play with Florida, with both Verhaeghe and Tkachuk as of late, but even if Bennett doesn't play on the #1 power play tonight, he will play down on the #2 power play, and then all three of these guys here for St. Louis are playing up on the Blues #1 power play. Now you can see some numbers listed under both of the centers here as well. 63 of 262 and 37 of 262. That's me highlighting where these lines stack up in terms of expected goals per 60 minutes across the league. So let me just pull that up here. You can see the expected goals per 60 minutes off to the right-hand side of lines that have played at least 30 minutes together this year. These lines here have been in the upper echelon of expected goals per 60 minutes. So let's go to St. Louis here first. They rank 37th. You can see some big lines around here. O'Reilly, Marchessault, Forsberg, Dubois, Wilson, and McMichael that's been playing really good hockey. Crosby, Raquel, and Malkin. And then let's go down here to the Florida line. You might be like, oh, 63, not super great. Look at some of the lines around here. You got the Draisaitl line right here at 64. You can see this line here with Hughes and Bratt at 67. More importantly, McKinnon, Rantanen, and Lehkonen at 56. So again, they're in some really good company there. And again, I like both those line stacks in similar ways tonight. Now, folks, before we dive into some of these individual plays here, if you could hit that free subscribe button at the bottom, I would really appreciate it. All right, now diving into some of these individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. And the first guy that I got there is Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers. And if he plays up on that first line with McDavid and Podkolzin tonight, I really like that line once again. I'm not entirely sure that's going to happen. It sounds like one of Hyman or Arvidsson could be back here tonight, so something to keep an eye on. But if it is Draisaitl with McDavid and Podkolzin, that will be a line stack that I play in tournaments for sure. It's very similar in price to that second line of Florida that I highlighted earlier. Braden Point, really good matchup here against Columbus. He's been on a goal-scoring tear as of late. I like him anytime he's in this mid-6K range. And then Connor McMichael and Drake Batherson are both offering some really nice value in the low 5K range. McMichael here at home, playing against the Colorado Avalanche, who haven't been a super strong defensive team this year, and more so, just aren't getting any good goaltending. Their forwards are definitely getting healthier, and that top six actually looks really good now for Colorado, but McMichael's been on a tear this year, and I do like him at that price of $5,200. I kind of think Ottawa's in a good spot in general here tonight, playing the Vegas Golden Knights, who just played last night as well. In Toronto, lost that game 3-0, so I think Ottawa could be a sneaky tournament move here tonight, but Batherson at $5,100, I do like the value there. And then Kyle Palmieri playing the Detroit Red Wings, who cannot keep the puck out of the back of their own net right now. Their penalty kill has been abysmal, so I think the Islanders could be a bit sneaky too, but more so like the value here with Palmieri in the 4K range, playing on that second line and #1 power play. Now moving on to the defensemen here, and the first guy that I got is Victor Hedman. I can't say I'm in love with the spend-up options for defense tonight. Don't get me wrong, there's some really talented defensemen, Cale Makar, Noah Dobson playing Detroit, whose penalty kill's been brutal, but Hedman was a guy that stuck out to me here at $7,000, playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. Been playing some really good hockey as of late, and that power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning is something that I like targeting in this matchup here against Columbus. Or hell, you could even just do a little two-man stack with Victor Hedman and Braden Point, and leave that game. Jake Walman's been on fire for the San Jose Sharks this year, going into St. Louis, who has not been great so far defensively to start the season. Goaltending's been a little shaky there as well. I understand the San Jose Sharks are a team that we don't normally target, but Walman, I believe he is offering value here at $5,200. Jacob Chychrun, I believe he's going to replace Ovechkin on that number 1 power play. Be interested to see how this Washington Capitals team responds without their captain. They were playing such good hockey to start the year, but Chychrun here, he's a guy that can go for 20, 25 plus DraftKings points, so getting him in the 4K range now bumped up to that number 1 power play, I do like that. And then on the other side of that game, I like Samuel Girard here for the Colorado Avalanche. Think he's offering some nice value here in the low 3K range for a guy who plays 20 plus minutes per night, gets time on the number 2 power play, and plays on the penalty kill. And then I got a few different goaltenders there for you, kind of a higher priced and 2 lower priced options. If I'm looking to spend up here tonight, Andrei Vasilevskiy stuck out to me as kind of the safe floor, high ceiling goaltender play, going into Columbus here where the Tampa Bay Lightning are heavy favorites, and the Columbus Blue Jackets have actually been shooting the puck at a decent rate as of late, so we should see some decent volume. And then if I'm looking to spend down here tonight, especially in tournaments, Philip Gustafsson of the Minnesota Wild. The Wild are one of the best defensive teams in the NHL. Understandably, you're playing the Edmonton Oilers, and on any given night, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl can put up 5 goals between the two of them. So keep that in mind, but at $7,400 here, I wouldn't be surprised if Gus sees 30-plus shots on net tonight, and he does have a ceiling of 30-plus DraftKings points. And then Dustin Wolf of the Calgary Flames has been absolutely fantastic this year at home here tonight against the Rangers. Another tough matchup, but at $7,200, hard to ignore that value considering the upside he offers. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy that I got there is Nicholas Waugh, the Vegas Golden Knights. Love the opportunity he's getting right now up on that second line and number 1 power play. And a solid spot here tonight going on the road against the Ottawa Senators. Similar situation with Jake Neighbors of the St. Louis Blues, currently playing on that second line and number 1 power play. Good spot at home here tonight against San Jose. And then Vasily Podkolzin at $2,600, really hard to ignore. He's either going to be up on that first line with Draisaitl and McDavid tonight, or on that second line with Draisaitl, so either way, I like him at that price. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks, and let's win some money on this 10-game NHL slate.